Hello, we're the Retro Tech Connection. Our team members are Dan Walsh, Jackson Weber, myself, and William Hammond. So our application is the Retro Tech Connection. It's a way for individuals who are enthusiastic about retro technologies to communicate with one another, discover old and really new tech to them, and even set up trades involving tech that they own. The site encourages users to preserve and share their retro tech while creating space for them to learn more about the hardware and software in their collection. We're targeting users who are really retro tech enthusiasts, essentially people who love retro tech and want to track their inventory while at the same time learning about other retro tech and its capabilities.
All right, now I'm going to walk you through some of the website. So it's hosted on Heroku. So I'll make a new user. Register that user and they're successfully registered. And then we could log in. And now they're successfully logged in. So this brings them right to their profile where they don't have any hardware, trades, or software yet. But we can go to the home page. And here we see the list of popular hardware and popular software. We can click on a popular hardware item, and then we can add it to their account. And then if we go to their profile, it is now listed on their account. So another important thing on our website is, actually first I'll add another item to our account and then show that you can then go to that item and delete it from the account and it will no longer show up. But we're going to keep this Commodore 64 on this user so that we can create a trade with another user for that. So we're going to go back, register a new user. Successfully registered that user, and then we're going to log in with them. Now we successfully logged in, so this user has nothing again. But if they go to the popular hardware section, they can click on an item and create a trade for this item. So it prompts them to enter the email of the other user. So we will enter their email, press OK, and it successfully created a trade. And now we go to their profile. We see that there's a pending trade. We're going to log back in with that other user to go accept that trade. So we successfully log in. Now we see that on their profile, they have a pending trade for the Commodore 64 created by the other user, B at test. And we could accept the trade, and we successfully accepted the trade. And now this hardware item no longer shows up on their profile. All right, well, and then if you wanted to take it from here.
Yeah. So our favorite parts of working on the Retro Tech Connection was the intuitive database design. We used Postgres, so everything was relational, and having entities as tables and then having tables that documented relations made everything very easy to access and link together. We really liked, one of the first things we did when you made the website was we wanted to have like a really cool retro feel. So we added the Windows 95 aesthetic to it, which I think makes it look super appealing, like definitely a lot nicer than I was thinking it would look. Also, this is more on the development side, but using Gulp to build the front end and back end and everything at the same time and automatically refresh when you saved files made like working on the project really easy because you could just hit save and it'll automatically recompile everything for you. You don't have to worry about any like refreshing, or you have to refresh, but you wouldn't have to shut down the server, restart it back up again, that sort of thing. And lastly, the code layout with everything in different folders, having very clear names, made everything really easy to develop in. I could quickly see, oh, which files, go to what element, for example, like trade repository is for trades. So as far as the difficulty, we thought that the website layout itself with HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap was very easy, intuitive to use. The database schema was also pretty easy, although granted, all three of us have taken comps by 345, so databases are something that we already knew about. We thought that source control was also something that wasn't too difficult to deal with. And Heroku hosting, although we also had to work on that in a previous class, we thought that that was very seamless and easy once you got Browserify working. As far as things that were hard, it was really difficult to divide work so that everyone could touch every component. This is especially due to workflow. So like, for example, if I had a lot of exams, but I was free towards the end of the milestone block, it was hard to figure out what work I could do that Jackson or Dan may not have done. We've found that having to compile TypeScript and build a project every single time was definitely, every time you have to make any kind of a save, you have to wait 10 seconds and then see what, if anything, any errors come up, as opposed to other JavaScript projects where it kind of compiles in real time. Not having to use any frameworks was definitely something I did not expect coming into this course. So having to do it all vanilla was definitely a challenge, especially when you wanted to incorporate things such as state and routing. And we also found difficult to deal with async database calls and using the API. This is especially true for trades because just one trade you have to query the database for 2 users and hardware. So it could be difficult dealing with if anything goes wrong in that chain, trying to diagnose it. So future work, if either of us decide to keep working on this past all of our graduation, is we would fully implement trades. Currently, it only works for hardware, but we would hopefully be able to expand that, add more input validation, that kind of thing. We want to list more hardware and software items for users to browse and add. The adding hardware and software isn't as, you kind of have to do it on the API level. So we want to make that more intuitive for users to add if, say, they had like an Apple IIe or something that they wanted to add. And lastly, we wanted to add a related text section. So that way, if people could add tags to their tech, and if something was similar, you could say, oh, I didn't know that thing existed. I wonder if anyone wants to trade me for it. And yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
It's been a great time in this class. I hope everyone has a good summer break and stay safe.